Voice-over flower summary. While delivering a student's dry cleaning, Gumjandi saves the life of a heavily bullied student, Lee Minhat-Lee Jiha, at the most prestigious school in South Korea. Her actions soon became public and exposes the bullying within the school, leading the public to go against the Shinhwa Empire. To silence the public's attention, Jandi is offered a swimming scholarship to Shinhwa High School which she declines but her family forces her to attend. During her first day at Shinhwa, Jandi learns of the famous F4 and of the other students' adoration and fixation with the boys in the group. Go Junpayo, Yoon Jiho, So Hee-jung, and Song Woo-bin are the richest and most powerful kids within Shinhwa and South Korea. Subsequently, they use their power to terrorize weaker students or those they do not like. Jandi, instead of being impressed, becomes enraged and fantasizes about confronting Go Junpayo, the leader and initiator of many of the bullying acts. She gains courage to confront him when a friend, Oh Min-ji, accidentally spills ice cream on his shoes and he demands the girl to lick it off. Jandi defends her friend and attempts to reason with Junpayo's tyrannical demand. He refuses to relent and demands her to lick it herself. Acting like she's going to lick it, she bends down but shoves her own ice cream in his face. Enraged by this, Go Junpayo declares war on Jandi and encourages the other students to bully her. Jandi, however, is resistant, refusing to apologize to Go Junpayo, and stands by her decision to fight him. Ironically, Go Junpayo, having never been stood up to, begins to develop feelings for her. He tries unsuccessfully to woo her as she slowly begins to spend more time with Junpayo and his friends. But Jandi has feelings towards Jiho. Jiho lives for Paris, since Jandi makes him realize that if he wants to have a serious relationship with Min So-hyun, he has to be close to her. Jandi teaches Junpayo that money cannot buy everything and in order to have real friends, he himself must be real or use his heart, but Go Junpayo still does not understand why someone like Jandi should dislike him. Go Junpayo declares to the school that Jandi is his girlfriend. While he is declaring it, Jiho arrives back from Paris. Junpayo whisks Jandi, the F4, and Jandi's best friend, Gayol, of the New Caledonia. And to the annoyance of Junpayo, Jandi and Jiho are attracted to each other. One night, Jiho kisses Jandi. Junpayo sees it, and he breaks out in a raging fury towards them. Junpayo leaves the island. Upon the group's return to cell, Junpayo announces that Jiho is going to be expelled from the F4 and that he and Jandi are both going to be expelled from the Shinhwa High School. But due to some races that Junpayo's older sister, Go Junhee, organizes for them and the fact that Junpayo can't let go of Jandi, they make up. As the story progresses, Junpayo falls deeper in love with Jandi and she learns how to open herself to his love as well. Jandi's best friend, Gayul often finds herself in the same place as Hee-jung. Though she finds him attractive, she is initially annoyed by his arrogance. One day, Hee-jung finds Gayul crying after she is dumped by her boyfriend. He advises her to let him go, and later, to make her feel better, Hee-jung takes her to have a makeover. The two go up to a club in which her ex is attending. Hee-jung pretends to be in love with Gayul to make her ex jealous. He gives her his scarf and walks her home, saying that if they're going to act, that they should act till the end. After this, Gayul finds herself smitten with Hee-jung. On Valentine's Day, she waits outside his house, planning to give him chocolates. He shows up with two girls on his arm and on his table, he already has dozens of chocolates from other girls. Gayul is upset, so Hee-jung reminds her that their night at the club was only an act, and it's not his fault if she took it too seriously. Hee-jung feels bad, and gives Gayul a cake and flowers, when he mistakenly thinks it's her birthday. The two become friendly again. As love begins to blossom between Jandi and Junpayo, Junpayo's mother discovers them and deems it unsuitable. She does everything in her power to keep the two apart, even arranging a marriage for Junpayo. The other F4 members and Gayul try to bring them back together. Lee Jung and Song Woo Bin came up with a few plans, but they fail. They resort to So Yi Jung and Gayul pretending to go on a fake date, which upsets Jandy because she doesn't consider Yi Jung good enough for her friend. She follows the two around with Junpayo by her side, making sure Yi Jung is treating Gayul appropriately. At first their plan was successful, but because of Junpayo's mother, their relationship became strained again. After their date, Gayul finds herself falling for Yi Jung again. Yi Jung feels the same way, but he can't bring himself to admit it, due to his doubt in true love. After a talk with the first girl Yi Jung loved, Gayul admits to Yi Jung how she feels about him and asks if he'll go on a real date with her. He rejects her, saying he doesn't date nice girls, foolish girls, or girls connected to his friends. He later changes his mind, and takes her out, though he spends all his time ignoring Gayul, and talking to other women. Moreover, Yi Jung takes Gayul to his father and tells him to date her. Their date ends with Gayul throwing water in Yi Young's face, but Gayul still helps Yi Jung to get safely home when he is too drunk to do it himself. Other factors keep arising as another member of the group falls in love with Jandy, which was Yoon Ji-ho, and in a twist of fate, Junpayo loses his memory. A girl named Jang Yumi, who was in the same hospital where Junpayo was confined, takes advantage of him to make him fall in love with her. Jandy never gives up for Junpayo to remember his love for her, even reenacting her former acts of defiance. In a last-ditch attempt to help Junpayo regain his memory, she falls in the swimming pool, letting Junpayo reminisce his love for her. On Jandy's graduation, Junpayo proposes to her on the cable car at the Namsan Tower where their first date was held. Junpayo told Jandy that he needs to study abroad to fix problems regarding Shinhwa. Junpayo asks Jandy to accompany him as his wife, but Jandy refuses because she has also plans for her future, becoming a doctor. The two agreed, but Jandy told Junpayo that she will be waiting for 4 years on one condition: if Junpayo comes back as a really amazing man. The story ends 4 years later and reveals what happened to the main cast. Lee Jung came back from Sweden where he'd held his art exhibition and visits Gayol, who became a kindergarten teacher. Ji-ho is in the last year of medical school and reopens his grandfather's clinic. Woo Bin is shown as being happy, but his career is never mentioned in the story. Lastly, Jandy goes to the beach near the university she was attending, to see Junpayo. He then proposes to Jandy, but the answer was still a question among us viewers because when Jandy was about to answer Ji-ho, Yi Jung and Woo Bin arrived saying that they object to the proposal because Junpayo and Jandy didn't ask for their permission first, and they live peacefully.